I'm Brett. I'm a psychic medium. I specialize in cleansing and clearing and spirit rescue. In this episode, I'm going to talk about psychic blocks. A lot of people experience these psychic blocks at one time or another. Sometimes it's something where you feel like you just aren't able to open up, or you aren't able to get clear information, or you just feel like something is wrong. You can't, your third eye chakra is blocked and you can't see anything, or you can't feel things the way you used to be able to. So I'm going to address what are blocks, and what's the reasoning, and who might be affecting your block. I think I come at the idea of blocks, I come at a lot of ideas with the psychic world a little bit differently than most people are talking about, or most people's views. The way I see blocks they are there for a reason, and they aren't just an energetic block, a chakra not being in alignment, something going on with your aura. They can be different things, and they aren't just a past life trauma that you have to work out or something like that. Blocks are there for a reason. And right now, if you're going through a block, you have to figure out what's going on before you can work through it, or decide that you should be working through it. A lot of people talk about blocks in your energy body or aura, and this would be something where something is off, or something is attached or blocked, or something with your chakra system. For example, I'll say my solar plexus chakra is blocked, and so I won't be having energy coming in, or I can't feel, I'm not getting the same gut kind of intuition that I normally get. And it could be something where there is something going on with your chakra. It's not turning, or it's closed off, or it feels like it's disconnected from the rest of your body. Another way people are blocked is through baggage. So their own energetic baggage, emotional baggage, issues from their past, issues that are current. This can be something from a past life, and you have a block there that's keeping you from moving forward. It's basically like an unhealed scar or unhealed issue that you've had, or something that's not been addressed. Most of these things are based in fear. If you keep asking, well, why is that? Why is that a problem? You'll get down to fear, and it's mostly fear, and addressing the fear and figuring out, okay, is it a rational fear? Is it something I can deal with? Is it something I can work on moving forward? And that will help release that block. There are other kinds of baggage that might not even be your own baggage. They're things that other people have put on you, or things from family or friends, or issues that somebody else thinks you need to be focusing on. So this is a lot of time family or like mentor kind of people who are concerned for you and probably want the best for you, but they're also putting this energy in your system, and you have to figure out what it is and how to deal with it. And by being aware of it, usually that's enough to be able to remove it. So awareness is big. And then there's the kind of block I'm experiencing right now. Well, it's not actually a block, it's more of a suggestion that I follow their instructions so they don't have to block me. And this is an outside entity, guides, other people, other folks on the other side, them putting a block on me. And that is usually for control or protection, or to limit what I'm accessing. And it's usually for my own good. The protection stuff is for my own good, and that's what's happening right now with me. I haven't actually been blocked, but every time I start to reach out, they're like slapping my hand and saying, no, don't do it. I've had clients come to me, and I've worked with them to remove blocks. And one client came in, and they were having major energy blocks. They had meditated. They always were able to connect up, connect out, and suddenly they weren't able to. And they're like, what is going on? And I take a look, and this is all visually in my mind. I see them, and I can see that there's this big disc above them, a big shield basically blocking their access to going up. Their guides had put it there because they weren't ready. It's a time thing. They weren't ready to go into their next phase. They had to deal with something at this level before moving on, before moving up, before having access to the next level. So that's one story. Another time a client came to me and they were having trouble extending out beyond their shield. They didn't explain it that way, but that's what was going on. They couldn't feel anything anymore. And they had had problems a long time ago with having some sort of psychic attack or an entity coming at them or an attachment or something like that. And they went and they got help from somebody. And what the person did was they took care of the psychic attack by putting a big shield around them. And they basically shielded them. And this person didn't know they were shielded or still shielded. And so they couldn't feel anything outside of their energetic bubble. And so we were able to remove the shield and suddenly they could feel things. So that was a kind of block they had, and all of a sudden they were psychic again. They were able to connect with the outside world and do all of the things they could do years earlier. And it's because somebody was trying to protect them. They asked for help and somebody helped them, but it ended up basically closing them off to everything. So that was another kind of block. And then there was a time when I put the shields up for somebody else and they freaked out because they could feel it. We weren't done with the session yet, and that was part of what was going on, but they had some entity that moved into their house. And basically we moved the entity out and I put up walls to help keep this thing from coming back in. And I did it, and I didn't explain what was going on because we didn't get there yet. And they freaked out and they're like, I feel like I'm claustrophobic and I can't breathe, because they're used to that open feeling, that psychic feeling of being open. And when somebody else manipulates your space, you're gonna feel it. I explained what I did, and we talked about, okay, well, you know, how do we want to deal with this entity and keep it from coming back in? Let's lighten the shields, make them a little bit lighter so you aren't feeling that, and then after about 2 weeks, we'll completely remove it and you won't feel that anymore. And that's exactly what we did, and she could tell when I removed the shields. And it's not that I have to do this. Everybody can do this, or I would say probably all of you guys can do this. You can put up shields, you can remove shields, you can see things in your system and deal with them. And that's another kind of block. Who would put blocks on you or on us? It could be really anybody. It could be people on accident, people on purpose, basically by just giving you bad juju. It could be your guides trying to protect you, trying to control you. It could be other entities trying to control you, trying to manipulate you or get to your energy. I'm not a big fear guy because all of this stuff can be dealt with. So that's not a scary, well, it is a scary thing, but it's not a hopeless thing. But yeah, I mean, there are parasites that will come on and they will attach to chakras and kind of draw energy that way. And they're getting juiced from you. And that can end up being kind of a block. And they might want to try to make it so you can't see them or you can't feel them. But that might be why you're drained all the time. And I've had this kind of thing, and it takes a while. And usually it's one of those things, once you realize it's happening, they can't stay there. And your guides might not notice because they might be small, they might be insignificant, but as soon as you notice that something is going on and point it out, your guides will help you get those guys out. So who else might be interfering or blocking you with your psychic abilities? You, yourself. And that might be because you're afraid of opening up. And that's a valid thing. I mean, I just made this other video, how to come out as a psychic, so go back and check that one out if you haven't. That kind of touches on some of these things. And then what purposes does a block serve? Sometimes it's part of our path. the guides will put it on us to slow us down, or we will know that we need to slow down, or that something is going on right now in time where we need to not be open. And this is like information that we aren't supposed to have right now, or our body needs to not be opening up because we're spending energy that way. So there are definite reasons why we need to be blocked or shut down at certain times. Right now for me, I think a lot of it is protection. And when we open up, or when we meditate, or when we tune in, when we're psychic, even when we think about things in the paranormal or psychic stuff, that can turn us on. And basically that lights us up and makes all of the entities around us or nearby aware of us. And so making a video is not a good idea probably, but I'm really trying to not open up and not light up, because it will draw their attention and they will be drawn to me and they will affect me or cause me problems. I don't know. I'm not talking to my guides right now because I'm trying to stay on the down low. Another thing that might be happening right now with me is my information is limited, because there's a lot of transition, there's a lot of turmoil, there's a lot of change going on in this world, and I am not supposed to know the behind the scenes stuff going on. I'm here in the physical because I'm here to learn, I'm here to level up, I'm here to have these experiences. And if I know this information, it's kind of like cheating. It's getting me out of the story. Another aspect might be that my team is really busy taking care of other stuff, and so they don't have time to hold my hand and make sure I'm doing it right and not causing problems with myself. And so they need me to just kind of chill, don't open up, don't do things, because I feel like they're giving me a high five for this answer. So yeah, because I am high maintenance, spiritually high maintenance. How do we remove a block? Really, we need to come to the reason for the block, and we need to decide whether or not it should come off, because some are on for a pretty good reason. And then there are others that are really not helping us. They aren't good for us, and we don't need them. So we need to figure out first why, or what it is, and if we should, and then how to do it. How to do it, there are plenty of tools out there available to us. We can use the meditations. Look around on YouTube. There are tons of meditations for removing psychic blocks. There are ones for removing past life blocks. You can use visualizations. You can use spells. People use spells. People use rituals. People do all sorts of things like that. The way I'll do it is usually through meditation and becoming aware of it and using intention to remove it through visualization. So pretty much a mix of all of those things. Mostly, it's all about intention. All of these rituals, all of these methods, it's all about intention and awareness of what's going on. So you have to be aware, and you have to have intention to remove something. If it's something you've done to yourself, like say all of a sudden you can't feel or see things around you, let's say your clairvoyance is gone, you have to figure out, okay, why is my clairvoyance gone? When did it happen? When did I notice that I'm no longer able to see things? And it might be because I saw something really scary and subconsciously decided that I don't want to see anything scary again. And so I put up a block, and I didn't realize I did it, but it's there, and it's been there for months, let's say. And so the first thing to do is figure out, when did it happen? Oh, it happened when I saw that scary thing. Did I put it on? Well, yes, I did. Your guides might not be aware that this has happened. You might be asking, why am I blocked? And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. You seem fine. Or all of a sudden you're like, I can't see anymore, or I can't hear anymore. And they're like, well, yeah, that's because you freaked out last time and it made you sick and you went into a spiral and all of this stuff. You couldn't sleep, so they might be protecting you there. Or it might be that self thing where it's like, okay, I saw the scary thing, I put the block up, I can't see, so I'm aware of it. Through intention, I can remove it. First, I'll ask my guides, is it a good idea to remove this? Sure. We didn't even know you had that. Okay, so I remove it. It's gone, all of a sudden I can see. I can experience things. So that's one aspect of it. Another part might be if guides tell me, no, you shouldn't remove it, it's probably there for a reason. It might be because they can see, well, it's because they do see the big picture. They can tell that there are events coming up where you might not need to be expending energy through your psychic body or that way. They might be protecting you from getting sick or from major stress coming on. That might be why they're protecting you. Who knows, that might be why they're protecting me right now. Keep me stress-free. It's not working, guys. Is it a good idea if I try to remove any block that my team would put on me to keep me from getting information about something? No, I've trust my guides. They've steered me correctly. And so I trust that they're having me do the right thing by having the block there. And I've had experiences where I've removed a block and I found out information and it's been really uncomfortable and not helpful for me because all it does is make me sad or irritated or whatever. This is a big one for me. I've felt shielded. I've had too much shield over me and I haven't felt like I can access outside of myself, outside of my bubble. And my guides had put that on me to keep me protected from entities that were coming in. And they were not nice guys. Basically, the brighter the light, the bigger the moth, the more moths. Lots of moths, lots of light, lots of moths. So I remove the shield myself, I force it open, I force myself free, and then I'm all of a sudden assaulted by entities that are coming in and trying to take my light and take my energy and all of that stuff, and it becomes a bigger issue. So yeah, it's usually a better idea to listen to the guides as long as I can trust my guides. I keep talking about lighting up. It's like the movie The Shining. Little red rum dude, Danny. This is from The Shining, just in case so I'm not like, yeah, this is my thing. My guides don't want me shining because they don't want me attracting the attention of somebody on the other side right now. Or they don't want me to tune in and find out anything about what's going on right now. Those are two possibilities. I'm not really checking in, so I'm not really finding out. But other psychics and mediums who deal with the same kinds of things I deal with are also having the same kind of experiences and getting the same messages. Keep quiet, don't practice, don't open up. And on the contrary, right now, a lot of people are finding themselves opening up psychically. They're like embracing their psychic abilities, and they're finding that they're more psychic right now than they've been in their entire life. They're like developing all of a sudden over the past couple months or so. And even some of the top psychics, they aren't affected by like being told to be quiet or shut down. So it's just a very select few of us that are being told to keep a lid on it. I don't know, it sucks. I want to be open right now, especially. So how can you trust that the information you're getting is correct, or that, say, a block is there for a good reason and your guides are who they say they are? A lot of it takes practice and experience with learning about them. If anybody is telling you anything that is negative or hurtful or harmful to you or anybody else or animals or anything really, that's a big red flag that you need to question whether or not to trust them. You also need to consider that not everybody on the other side has all of the information or correct information or has your best interest in mind. So a lot of people will like pray and ask for archangels or somebody like that to oversee their interactions. They will do prayers or rituals that will be setting in place the intention that they will only work with the highest vibration, the lightest entities. I've been told by my guides that anything they tell me is a suggestion. It's advice for me, and it is not a demand. It is not something I must do. It's not something that this is it. This is how it is, and you have to comply. It's the opposite. They want to advise me. They want to suggest things to me. They aren't telling me what to do. All right, so what's next with me? I am probably gonna go and ask my guides and kind of reach out and see what's going on and see if I can open up. And about every few days, I feel the urge and I feel like, oh, I think there's a shift. I think I can open up. And everybody's like, nope, you can't open up. It's not time yet. And they always say soon. And soon is such an annoying word, but it's fine. What's next? I'm gonna keep doing these kind of videos. If you like this, if it's helpful, please subscribe, like, and comment. I'd like to hear about your experiences with blocks and being told to shut down. Are you getting the same kind of message I am right now? And if you want to contact me, you can reach me through Twitter, through the comments right here, through email. And thanks for watching.